Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko and I'm here with Terry Morrow. Say hi, Terry.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week we're continuing our West Wing and Good Place watches, and we'll start with The West Wing. This one was called The Hubbard Peak, and it was very silly and just kind of a throwaway. I don't know. It didn't seem to do much to advance any important plot points. It starts with Josh looking at a Prius and then deciding to test drive a gigantic SUV and promptly crashing it into a Prius because he's on the phone like a dummy. And then we get a repeat of the whole Lemon Lyman situation where a blog posts about this incident and he doesn't understand how the internet works and yells at the blogger who in real time posts what he's yelling at her. It's just like, well, didn't we do this already? I don't know.
We did. And I promise you we are coming upon times when we will get our old smart Josh back. I object to the many times. I mean, I accept when Josh is brought low by being too smart.
Yeah.
That's okay. But when he's just made to look like a dummy who doesn't understand how politics works, no.
Well, it's just completely out of character.
It really is. Somebody on the new writing staff does not like that character or does not like Bradley Whitford. Right. Perhaps Joshua Molina was paying them off. Can we make Brad look dumb?
Yeah, because that's what's happening very frequently.
It's not right. But it will change by the end of this season. But I cannot wait for that to happen. Could that please happen really soon,
please.
And I agreed with the West Wing Weekly podcast that there was a lot of, quote unquote, clever dialogue that was working really hard. Sorkin's cleverness, whether it was the natural way people would ever speak or not, was always effortless. And this is effortful.
Yes.
So kudos to the actors for trying to make it look like Sorkinese. But it ain't.
Just not. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot to not like in this episode.
Yeah, Kristen Chenoweth got a few cute scenes. She's doing her thing.
Yes.
And that was so she and her character and Toby have a nice dynamic because they're so unlike one another.
Yeah.
And yet she just does not care. She's just going to do what she's going to do.
Right.
And he kind of hangdogs along behind her.
And just the whole part where she's like, saying, how's your first day? Don't you like your office? And, she's saying all the things that he should be saying to her. And, thanks for the muffins. It's really too much. And,
She is a nice addition. And I enjoyed the little anecdote on the West Wing Weekly podcast where Joshua Molina was talking about sort of like vaguely knowing that she was a singer when she was on this, and then they went to a concert. Right. And, oh my goodness.
Guess what? She's a huge
She's a star.
And would this have been before she was in Wicked?
I don't know. Somebody will have our research staff look that up while we
get
chat.
On that, researchers. Because that's kind of one of the big things that made her more of a household name, I guess.
I knew who she was when she popped up in this.
Right.
From You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown and winning the Tony. But I'm not sure if she had done Wicked yet. But the other thing that amused me about this episode is that the mystery of where the heck did Kate Harper go after she solved Mideast Peace? The answer is she went somewhere to grow her bangs out. She could not show herself again in the White House until she could sweep them back in a ponytail. So So she went somewhere and concentrated on hair growth.
Right.
Or perhaps bought a nice wig.
And,
one or the other.
And like everything else she does, she's good at it and she could do it fast. And
she could do it fast, yes. So, nice to have you back, Kate. Very glad not to have the bangs back. And, perhaps whatever process you use to grow them out super fast, you might want to share with the rest of us.
Right.
One of her many superpowers. Mm-hmm. But other than that, this was, this also did have the, I guess Dule Hill is leaving the show because Charlie has to go get another job someplace else. Ah, sad to see him. Oh, wait what's that? Huh? He's getting a job on the other side of the Oval Office?
Yes. Well,
What a shock.
I would miss Charlie if he went.
I would miss Charlie very much. And I'm happy that they manufactured a reason for him not to go anywhere,
Literally about, 20, 25 yards. Won't be
exactly. Although, he won't actually be working in CJ's office, so maybe his technical office will be the steam pipe trunk distribution venue.
Yeah, that could be.
But he's going to be up there all the time.
So Leo got by with Margaret and then Josh as his deputy. But CJ's going to have Margaret, Charlie, Josh as her deputy.
Yeah, I have no problem with that because Leo is Leo and CJ is coming into this.
Right. From a completely different.
From the Hall of Unlikely Successors. Right. So, layer her up with people. Yeah. I have no objection to that.
Especially if they're people we like and want to keep seeing.
It would be insulting to say that she can just step into Leo's shoes and just go forward with no problem. So,
true.
Charlie needs a job.
So here we go. It's a win-win.
That's right. It's got to be done.
Yes.
But I was at the end when they had this whole thing with the president must play chess. And I didn't have the same problems with that they had on the West Wing Weekly podcast. That isn't there just a way you can check that with the doctor? Because I totally buy that his friend would want some informal way to test him that was not obviously, hey, let's check and make sure your brain still works, man. Play chess with me.
And also, you cannot go to the doctor every single week and get an MRI. That's not practical.
And I gotta think there are things that don't show on tests, but that would show early on something like a guy who's good at chess suddenly not playing chess quite as well. It would seem to be a good early warning sort of thing. But of course, when you make it this whole production and insist that he has to play against this schmo from some other office we've never seen before.
He was from
then
the
it's a little less informal.
Or some. Oh yeah, he worked for somewhere in the government. They found him, but
I thought they should have made Toby do that. Toby and the president have a long history of playing antagonistic chess against one another. And so that could also, test all sorts of things. Test his temperament.
Yes.
Does he fly off the handle quickly? Bring Toby in. Let's see.
One great way to figure that out.
Missed opportunity. Yes. Poor Toby. That would just be the cherry on the top of his day. Talk to the press and then go play chess with the president.
Pixie telling me what to do, and exactly. Well, we will continue to struggle through until things get more interesting on the West Wing. While on the Good Place, things are always interesting and sometimes too interesting. This week, we watched an episode called Chidi Sees the Time Knife, which the title, I don't know, as you said, it was sort of, you didn't think it boded well. And it referred to like a 10-second bit that, maybe becomes important later. I don't know. It didn't seem like it. It just seemed like a thing that happened that was crazy and allowed them to do some fun visual affecting, and then that's it. I was interested, so when they're at the Interdimensional House of Pancakes, or Hole of Pancakes, sorry. There's this thing where this funny creature is wrapped around Tahani's neck, and they call it a need noggle, which if you follow the Good Place podcast, refers to David, I believe is his name, Need Noggle, who is their visual effects guy who creates all of these crazy effects that they do. But if you read Alan Sepinwall's review, he did not know that.
Oh.
He just wrote, or not a review, recap. He wrote that it was a creature called a need noggle, and he spelled it not like the guy's name.
Come on, man, listen to the podcast.
I was like, I know something you don't know, Alan Sepinwall.
We're so smart.
Yeah. So this, as you were mentioning to me before we started recording, felt like a season ender. Because of the way it ends with a really whole new, sort of plan of action.
Which makes me worried as to what one more week is going to... Are they going to get through the whole year with the fake people after in one episode? I don't know how you can... It's just... Could we slow down here a little bit? I just enjoy moments.
Terry, have you watched this show?
Oh,
no,
goodness.
We do not slow down.
Well, looking back at that first season, that was positively glacial.
Yes.
The first season all had one basic plot. And since then, they've been all over the dang place.
They have gone haywire many, many times.
I mean, I would have been happy for this entire episode to be in the Interdimensional Hole of Pancakes.
Right.
They could have had a lot of fun with that, and then at the end of it, they could have said, well, let's build a new neighborhood, and then the part of going to the medium place and having all of that stuff could have been the last episode. It ends with Eleanor looking panic-stricken into the camera.
Right.
And next season. So, golly. I mean, I trust that they know what they're doing, I guess, but there's a degree to which you feel kind of jerked around because it's like, well, am I supposed to care about this? Oh, well, no, wait, that's done. So now do I care? No, wait, no, something else now.
Right.
It makes it hard to invest in anything. And the whole thing of there being a fake Michael that's going to torture them is, really smart and funny and brilliant. But at the same time, it makes me feel terrible just anticipating, as it does Michael.
Right.
So now unless they resolve things in the next episode, which is entirely possible, everything else is going to have the pall of that hanging over it. How awful that would be.
But I'm not sure I buy that it is so awful that it puts Michael in this catatonic state. I feel like it would motivate him to get it right.
Yeah.
Obviously they need this to happen so that Eleanor can kind of take over, but I get that it would be extremely upsetting to him, and it emphasizes the relationship that he has with the humans, and how devastating that would be if they believed that he had betrayed them and tortured them.
Right.
But I'm not sure it would put him into this extreme state,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
It's weird and not promising, but...
Who knows? That is all we can ever say with this show.
That is the watchword of this show.
Okay.
Well, okay.
We'll see what happens. Mike Short.
And we had Suave Derek.
Yes.
Although not quite 100% there, so we worry about the people he created.
Yes.
But fun for him to come back and be only slightly Derek, but still slightly Derek.
Very funny.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, we'll have
whatever you say. I suppose you know what you're doing.
Yes.
They're certainly having a good time.
They always are. So next week we'll watch that next Good Place episode,
which we think is the last for the season. Right?
We think so, even though it's only number 12, and I feel like when networks have a short season, it's 13. But I guess all bets are off in the world of streaming and peak TV and whatever else. So.
Who Who the heck knows?
So that episode is called Pandemonium. And
Sounds
the
about right.
West Wing that we will be watching is called The Dover Test.
2 episodes in a row with the blank. Fill in the blank with something boring sounding. Yes. So, alrighty then.
And that'll be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.